Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of Oma Jon Plays Minecraft. We have a fun one coming up that is basically just chopping down trees for, I think it was about an hour and a half condensed into about 15 minutes. So, I hope you're pumped. First thing is doing all the things that are not chopping down trees. You have to do all the things that aren't the thing you're supposed to do first, so that you can get into the thing that you're supposed to do. But I do think you'll like the first side quest that I did, which was figure out that azalea trees can be placed on moss, and I decided to put some on our fireplace. And I think it really adds a nice homey feel, adds a good touch, some color. See, I think that looks phenomenal. Then I grab all the iron that we got in the last one to make sure that it's smelting properly. Find an Enderman. Decide that I should probably, go ahead and destroy it. I don't really need to at this point because we're a long way from going to the Nether or heading to the end, but I decide, if I can get an extra Ender Pearl now, that means I don't have to go searching for them later. Unfortunately, it drops exactly 0. And head to bed because it's night and I don't want to go out in the darkness because, we're terrified of darkness. Head on up the waterfall, and at this point I'm actually trying to just figure out what I'm about to do. Because I know I'm going to cut down trees, but I was like, wait, there's something else I needed to do from the previous episode that I forgot. And I remembered it was farming. So I cut down this tree with a cobblestone so that I can build a hoe to hoe the land. But before I hoe the land, I decide I should get more seeds. So I just start chopping down grass until I get more seeds, so that I have more seeds to plant, so that I can grow more wheat, so that I can get more seeds, so that I can grow more wheat. It's an endless, very vicious cycle. So head down this way, actually plant the seeds I just got, and at this point I'm really thinking I should expand this farm. Like, I should get carrots, potatoes, beetroot, pumpkins, watermelon, all the other plants. But we've explored everything on the initial locator map, and there was no villages. There were no villages. So I guess at some point soon I'll have to leave the nest and go searching. Stay tuned for that video coming soon, probably. Let's be honest here. Today's topic that is not Minecraft related, but is also Minecraft related, basically just a topic that is not related to what I am doing on screen at the moment, is actually related to what I'm doing on screen at the moment. Look at me. I'm throwing off the status quo, trying to keep it fresh. Gotta create good content for the homies. So I created a tier list for Minecraft wood that will get me in a lot of trouble with a lot of people, because it is a spicy set of takes. But here we go. So S tier, dark oak. That's it. Dark oak, best wood. Then it works out so there's like one type of wood for every tier, so I decided to just do that. So S tier, dark oak. A tier, acacia. I know. Everyone can fight me. Go off in the comments. Do what makes you happy. But I think acacia is gorgeous wood. In real life and in Minecraft. People are always like, it looks weird, it's orange, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a gorgeous shade of orange. Why do you think I use orange as the little, shadow color for all of my thumbnails? Because orange is a gorgeous color. Now, B tier, you have normal oak. Now, I used this based off the assumption that, C's our average. Let's be honest. You gotta get A's in school. They act like that, but C's are supposed to be average. So C is average wood, which makes B tier oak, because it's a little better than average. Oak is a solid choice. No one builds something out of oak and goes, that looks awful. No, it looks great. So then C tier, average, we have birch. I love birch. Birch, beautiful. They both start with B's. But it's not as good as oak, or dark oak, or acacia. Birch is a very, average looking wood. Then we move on to everything that is actually horrible. So I am glad that they added another wood type in 1.19, the mangrove, but I actually don't think it looks that good. I don't like the red. Not a fan of it. I just not a fan. So D tier. Then E tier, we have warped fungus, which it gets higher than crimson fungus, which is F tier because that looks horrible. But warped fungus gets a little bit higher because it's blue, so it adds some extra. It gives you another color palette when you're building with wood. But now that mangrove wood exists, no one should ever touch crimson. Is it called crimson fungus? I don't think so. It's crimson something else. Because it's warped fungus and crimson something. But whatever. At this point, no one should ever be touching it because mangrove exists, which is better. Although I still don't like it. I'll admit, it is better than the crimson garbage. I also hate the crimson ones because when you go into the crimson forest, there's 1,000 hoglins, and then you just get attacked by pigs that have, I don't know, a hatred of all things. What kind of a plot point is that? At what point in a movie are you like, yo, pigs that hate things? That's a sellable character right there. No, that's not how it works. Read Aristotle's Poetics. Nowhere in that treatise does it ever mention pigs that hate things. Exactly. Bad drama. That's my dissertation. If I ever get a doctorate, my doctoral dissertation will be in why pigs that hate things is a horrible plot device, horrible character. No one can relate to that character. Yeah. 0 out of 10. So, after that tangent, we're going to move back into talking about what's going on in the video, which is chopping down trees, just like it was earlier. Although now we're actually headed home with all of the trees that we chopped down so that we can sleep and ignore the fact that it is nighttime. So we head to bed, which is what I should really be doing now. But instead, I'm staying up recording this video for you guys because I like you. So, yeah. After that compliment, I think now would be a good time to pepper in the fact that you should like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you can see more of this Let's Play. And debating on whether or not to say this because I don't want to commit to it, but it's possible that we might check out some other games on this channel as well. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see Oma Jon play some other games that aren't just Minecraft. Although saying just Minecraft feels like an insult because we all know Minecraft is the greatest game. But let me know if you are interested in seeing some other types of content with different types of games. I don't know, maybe some RPG stuff, or maybe stuff with stories instead of Minecraft and its build your own story. Which also gets me thinking, or reminds me of thinking from earlier. I did a lot of thinking while I was mining that iron. That was like a 2-hour recording session that was condensed down for you guys. So I had a lot of time to think about, life, the universe, our mistakes as a species, normal topics. And one of the things I thought about is about adding some lore into this world. Like, we're starting to get to that point now where we have resources, we have things, we can start building things, we can start making things happen in the world around us. So I thought about, what if we made some lore? What if we tried to figure out some kind of storyline, that type of stuff. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. Again, see, that is 2 calls to comment in 1 episode. The algorithm should love me at this point. I should be getting calls from the algorithm at 2 a.m. being like, you up? So, anyway. I'm going to keep chopping down wood for quite a while. And I'm going to move on from my wood tier list to a real life wood tier list, which I'm not going to include all of them because, there's like a bajillion trees, but we're going to add a few of the ones that I personally just want to add to the list to get them out there. Pine, S tier. Pine wood, it smells great, it looks great. When you have a piece of furniture made out of pine, it's always going to be gorgeous. In real life, I'm actually going to move birch up to B tier rather than C tier because it's definitely above average for real life woods. Maple. I'm really not sure on maple. We'll give it C. It's average. Not particularly great. No points against it. Cypress. Cypress, absolute F tier. We have some cypress trees not far from where I grew up. Horrible trees. Like, their limbs, they're really brittle. Like, if you think about them too hard, they just snap for no reason whatsoever. They're horrible trees. They don't smell good. They don't look good. They're always dying. Like, they're little, I think they're needles. They're like needles, but they're like, not like pine needles. They're fuzzier, I guess you could say. They're always on the ground. Like, I don't think I've ever actually seen them on the tree. They're just always on the ground below the tree, needing to be raked up or moved out of the way in some way. Just constant. Then, next we have cherry. Cherry is gorgeous. Cherry and mahogany, both. Similar levels of just like absolute S tier wood. If you get a piece of furniture made out of mahogany or cherry, you're going to look at that thing and be like, yep, that's perfection. That is gorgeous. What are some other fun ones that are worth talking about? Mimosa trees. Gorgeous to look at. The little pink tufts, wonderful. But not super, I don't actually know much about the wood. I don't know what mimosa wood looks like. I can't picture the grain in my head. But as trees, they're marvelous. Would recommend. Next up, we have tulip trees, they're tulip trees. I think it's actually the state tree of Indiana, which is where I'm originally from. So, yeah, state tree of Indiana. Woot woot. We also have Bradford pear trees. Bradford pear trees, we're going to give them an F, and I have very little clue why. I just know that I'm supposed to hate those trees. I think they're invasive or something like that. It's just been programmed into me since birth. Like, I was born, and then 3 days later, they were like, if you ever see a Bradford pear, chop it down. Get rid of it. Next up, we have a tree that is often confused with the Bradford pear, which is the dogwood. They both have, white flowers on them, but dogwoods have little red spots in the center of the flowers, and this is going to be kind of hard to describe, but a Bradford pear kind of grows upwards. Like, it's a very oval-looking tree, whereas dogwoods tend to grow more outwards, and the branches tend to look more jagged, kind of like a mimosa, if you've seen that, where sometimes, a branch will be going, and then it'll just be nope, hard left, 90 degrees. Dogwoods have more of that type of a look to them. So we're going to give dogwoods S tier. They're gorgeous trees. They really are gorgeous. And you know what? Bradford pears are too, but I have to hate them. So they're still getting F tier, but I will admit they are pretty. Dogwoods, S tier, gorgeous. Next, we're going to move on to another type of pine, which is the jack pine. Whereas the pine is S tier, we're going to move the jack pine down a few to, we're going to say B tier. Jack pines, they're pine trees. They look like pine trees. They have needles and blah, 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 the whole spiel. But their pine cones are really annoying. They're not pretty and pine cone looking. They're dense. They look like little grenades. And also the bark on jack pines is really, really jagged. It's not smooth like a lot of pine trees. It's like, if you drag your hand along it, you're gonna get cut. I think I should also clarify. When I say pine tree, like generic pine tree, I think I'm actually referring to, I think they're called eastern white pines. Gorgeous. And we're gonna call that the end of our tree tier list for this round. We might do this again at another point. You never know. But for now, we're going to call this one good. I had a fun time this episode, and I hope you did too. See you later. Bye-bye.